In this video, we're going to find the area of compound shapes made of rectangles and triangles. What is a compound shape? Say your answer to the video. You should have said a compound shape is a shape made up of other shapes, two or more other shapes stuck together. Please start by doing these two questions. Pause the video while you do them. Press play once you're ready. You should have now done these two questions. So I'm going to go through them because you need to know how to find the area of triangles and rectangles to find the areas of the compound shapes. So the area of a triangle, the formula is base times height over 2. Base here is 28.7 and the height is 19.1, and then we need to divide that by 2. So I'm going to use Gelosia to do 28.7 times 19.1. Pause the video, use Gelosia yourself to do 28.7 times 19.1 and press play once you've done it. You should have now done Gelosia to do 28.7 times 19.1. So I'm going to do it now and you can check if you've done it correctly. So 28.7 times 19.1. Let's do the times tables together. What's 7 times 1? You should have said 7. 7 times 9, 63. 7 times 1, 7. 8 times 1, 8. 8 times 9, 72. 8 times 1, 8. 2 times 1, 2. 2 times 9, 18. 2 times 1, 2. Then we add the diagonals, 7, 11. 7 plus 6 is 13, plus 2 is 15, 16, 17, 18. 8, 15, 23, 24, 5 and 0. Then I need to go down from this decimal point and left from this decimal point until they meet, and then go down the diagonal, and I get my answer, which is 548.17 divided by 2. Now I need to do bus stop method. So the number on the top, you should have said the number on the top goes in the bus stop, the number on the top, the number on the top, the number on the top goes in the bus stop. So 2 into 548.17. Remember to put the decimal point. Please do that yourself. Pause the video to do it. Press play once you're ready. So let's check that you got it right. So 2 into 5 is 2 remainder 1. 2 into 14 is 7. 2 into 8 is 4. 2 into 1 is 0 remainder 1. 2 into 17 is 8 remainder 1. Add a 0. 2 into 10 is 5. That's the final answer. 274.085. All of the questions in this video, you are not to use a calculator. Let's do question 2 now. So the area of a rectangle. So how do you find the area of a rectangle? Say your answer to the video. You should have said base times height. So the base is 12.6 and the height is 6.4. Again, we're going to use Gelosia. Try that yourself. Press play once you've done it. You should have now done Gelosia to do 12.6 times 6.4. I'm going to do it myself so you can check that you've done it right. Do the times tables with me. 6 times 6, 36. 6 times 4, 24. 2 times 6, 12. 2 times 4, 8. 1 times 6, 6. And 1 times 4, 4. Let's add the diagonals. 4, 16, 10, 8, 0. And then let's see where the decimal points meet. They meet here. So our final answer is 80.64. So that's how you find the area of rectangles and triangles. One thing that I haven't yet done is the units for each thing. So here, with the triangle, the lengths were in meters. So what's the units for area, the area of the triangle? Say your answer to the video. So the units for area will be meters squared. And for the rectangle, the units were centimeters. So what will be the units of the area of the rectangle? Say your answer to the video. So for the area of the rectangle, the units will be centimeters squared. Notice we're not using a calculator. We're not doing any rounding. We're literally following the area formulae and using Gelosia and the bus stop method, Jalosia for the multiplication, and the bus stop method for division. So let's move on to some compound shapes now. So I'm going to do this example fully by myself. So I have two triangles. You can see the triangle at the top, this one over here, and then you can also see this triangle over here. So to find the area of this compound shape, I'm going to find the area of each triangle individually and then add them together. So here's this triangle here, 10, 8, and 6. So that's one of the triangles. And then the other one looks like this, where this is 10, this is 13, this is 6, and the height is 5.8. So I'm going to do the two individually and then add them together. So let's start with the one on the left. So the area of this triangle will be half times base times height, which is half times 6 times 8. So it's 48 over 2, which is 24. It says all units are in centimeters, so it's 24 centimeters squared. And for the triangle on the right, I'm going to do base times height over 2. So that will be 10 times 5.8 over 2, which is 58 over 2. 58 over 2 is 29 centimeters squared. So I've got the area of the yellow triangle is 24 centimeters squared, and the area of the pink triangle is 29 centimeters squared. So the total area of the compound shape is the sum of those two, 24 plus 29, which is 53 centimeters squared. So to summarize what I've done, I've split the shape up into two separate triangles, I've found the area of each individual triangle, and then added the two areas together. Let's do an example together. So pause the video, try this one yourself, press play once you're ready. You should have had a go now at finding the area of this compound shape. Let's go through it step by step together. So what's the first thing I should do? Say your answer to the video. The first thing I should do is split the shape into two separate triangles. Now that's already been done, but I'm just going to make it really clear with the highlighter. Okay, what's the next thing I should do? Say your answer to the video. Well, the next thing I should do is find the area of each individual triangle. So let's call this triangle up here triangle 1, and let's call this one triangle 2. So let's do triangle 1 first. What's the base of triangle 1? Say your answer to the video. The base of triangle 1 is 10. What's the height of triangle 1? Say your answer to the video. The height of triangle 1 is 3.7. So we've got 10 times 3.7 over 2, 37 over 2, which is 18.5 centimeters squared. Up above, I said all units are in centimeters for all of these questions. Let's find the area of triangle 2 now. So this one's a bit harder. What's the base of triangle 2? Say your answer to the video. So the base of triangle 2 is also 10. If you look at triangle 2, it's a bit like an upside down version of the other triangle, where this side is 10, this side is 12, and the height we're told is 3.7. So we can consider this side over here to be the base, and then this is the height. So the base is 10, the height is 3.7, base times height over 2, 37 over 2, also 18.5 centimeters squared. So the area of the yellow triangle was 18.5, the area of the pink triangle was 18.5. How do I find the area of the whole compound shape? Say your answer to the video. I add those areas together. So 18.5 plus 18.5 equals 37 centimeters squared. Well done if you got that right completely by yourself. Let's now move on. So here's another compound shape. Now this one, I've not already split it. So the first thing we need to do here is actually split this into two rectangles. Now there's two ways to do that. We could split it into this smaller rectangle here and this bigger rectangle here. But we could also do it by splitting it like this. And then we've got this rectangle here and this rectangle here. Both of those methods are completely valid and both completely work. So let's go with this one. So let's firstly find the area of the yellow rectangle. Pause the video, work out the area of the yellow rectangle, press play once you're ready. You should have found that the area of the rectangle that I've highlighted here, well, this is 6 and this is 2. So the area of the yellow rectangle is 6 times 2, which is 12 centimeters squared. I'm going to do the rest of this example. I'm now going to find the area of this pink rectangle. So the area of this pink rectangle, so the length is 6 and the width is 3. So that's 6 times 3, which is 18 centimeters squared. So the total area of the compound shape will be 12 plus 18, which is 30 centimeters squared. So the steps I followed, I firstly split the shape into 2 separate rectangles. I found the area of each rectangle and then added together their areas. Let's do this example together. Pause the video, try it yourself, press play once you're ready. You should have now done this example yourself. So there's 2 ways to split it into separate rectangles. I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to put my split over here. So I now have this pink rectangle here, and I have this yellow rectangle here. So let's work out the area of each separate rectangle. What's the area of that rectangle? Work it out. Say your answer when you're ready. So that rectangle, the length is 7, the width is 4, so the area is 7 times 4, which is 28 centimeters squared. What about the pink rectangle? What's the area of the pink rectangle? Work it out, say your answer to the video. Well, the length of the pink rectangle is 7, the width is 2, so we've got 7 times 2, which is 14. What do we do now? Say your answer to the video. You should have said that we add those 2 areas together, 28 plus 14, which is 42 centimeters squared. So altogether, I firstly split the shape up, then I found the area of each individual part, and then added together the areas. I'm now going to do this example fully by myself. So this time, the first thing to do is spot that this is a rectangle and a triangle stuck together. So I'm going to put a dotted line along here to show you the 2 shapes. So I have the rectangle on the left, which I'm going to shade yellow, and I have the triangle on the right, which I'm going to shade pink. Let's start by finding the area of this rectangle. So this rectangle looks like this. This is 4, this is 7. 7 times 4, 28 centimeters squared. The triangle is a bit harder because to find the triangle, I firstly need to work out what the base and the height are. So let's think about it. The whole base here is 9. And this part is 4. So let's have a look at that in green. So the whole base is 9. This part is 4. So what will just this part be? Well, it's going to be 9 minus 4, which is 5. So the base of this triangle is 5. Now I'm going to work out the height. So let's do that in blue. So the whole height of the whole shape is 7. This bit of height over here is 1, which means the rest, so all of this, is going to be 6. 7 minus 1 is 6. So now I know my base and my height. Now I just apply the formula. 6 times 5 over 2, 30 over 2, which is 15 centimeters squared. So that was tricky because first I had to work out what the base and the height of the triangle were. Once I'd worked that out, then I could find the area. Now the final step is adding the areas together. So 28 plus 15 is 43 centimeters squared. So to summarize what I did, I firstly split the shape into a rectangle and a triangle. I found the missing lengths that I needed on the triangle. I found the areas of the rectangle and the triangle, and I added them together. Pause the video and try this example yourself. Press play once you're ready. You should have now tried this example yourself. I'm going to go through it step by step. So we firstly split the shape up into the rectangle and the triangle. What do you think the area of the yellow rectangle is? Pause the video. Press play once you've worked it out. You should have found that the area of that rectangle is 7 times 4, which is 28 centimeters squared. Now we've got the triangle. Pause the video, work out what the area of that triangle is. Press play once you're ready. So if we think about this triangle, it's got a base of 5, which is labeled, but this part, the height, we don't know. But what we do know, and I'm going to do this in green, is we know that the whole height is 7. And I know that this part is 1 and this part is 1, which means the missing part, which is the height of the triangle, must be 5. 7 minus 1 minus 1. So now I have a triangle, base times height over 2, 25 over 2, 12.5 centimeters squared. What's the final step? Say your answer to the video. The final step is to add the two areas together. 28 plus 12.5, which is 40.5 centimeters squared. So to summarize, we split the shape up into a rectangle and a triangle. We found the separate areas of the rectangle and the triangle, and we added them together to find the area of the whole compound shape. This is another example for you to try first. So pause the video and try this example. Press play once you're ready. You should have now tried this example. So what's the first thing we need to do? Say your answer to the video. The first thing we need to do is split it up into a triangle and a rectangle. What's the next thing we need to do? Say your answer to the video. Well, you may have already got ahead of yourselves and said that we need to start finding the areas of the rectangle and triangle. We can't do that yet because we don't know the height of the triangle. We need to work that out first. So the rectangle, we do know what we need to know. We know the width and the height. We know the base and the height of the rectangle, but the triangle, we don't. We need to firstly work out what this is. But we can do it in the usual way. This whole thing is 8. This part is 4. So what will the missing part be? Say your answer to the video now. Well, if the whole height is 8 and the height of the rectangle part is 4, then the leftover is 4. And what is the base of this triangle going to be? Say your answer to the video now. The base of this triangle is also 8, because the base of the triangle is also the long side of the rectangle. This over here is the base of the triangle and the long side of the rectangle at the same time. So now we can find the areas of the two separate things. So what's the area of the rectangle? Say your answer to the video now. The area of the rectangle is 8 times 4, which is 32 centimeters squared. What is the area of the triangle? Say your answer to the video now. So you should have done base times height over 2, 8 times 4 over 2, 32 over 2, which is 16 centimeters squared. So now we have the area of the rectangle and we have the area of the triangle. What's the final step? Say your answer to the video. The final step is to add those two areas together. 32 plus 16, 48 centimeters squared. I'm now going to do this example. So the extra level of complexity here is that there's some sides that we don't know. We don't know this side. We don't know this side. Now, I could try and work those sides out first, which I'm going to do. Might not need to, but I'm going to do it anyway. So using the yellow highlighter, that is the full width of the shape. This part is 6, this part is 5, which means the full width of the shape must be 11. Let's do the vertical lines now. This vertical line is 10. The whole height is 10. This part is 6 and this part is A. So that means A must be 4, because 4 plus 6 makes 10. Now I know all the things that I need to know, so I can just find the area in the normal way. So I'm going to split it into two separate shapes. I'm going to put a line across like this. So firstly, I'm going to find the area of this green rectangle on the top. And then I'm going to find the area of the orange rectangle on the bottom. So let's do the green rectangle first. So its length is 11 and its height is 6. 11 times 6, 66 centimeters squared. Now the orange part at the bottom. So the base is 5 and the height is this thing here, which we worked out on this side is 4. So it's 5 times 4, which is 20. And then we add the two together. 66 plus 20. 86 centimeters squared. So to summarize what I did, I actually didn't need to for this problem because I could have worked it out another way. But the way that I decided to work it out, I had to firstly work out what the missing sides A and B were. Once I'd worked out the missing sides A and B, I split the shape up, I split the compound shape up into two rectangles, found the area of each rectangle, and then added them together. Pause the video and have a go at this one. Press play once you're ready. You should have now had a go at this question. So step one, you should have found what A and B are. So to do that, this is A, this is 4, this is 4. What's A? Say your answer to the video. You should have said that A is 8, because it's going to be the sum of this side and this side. Next, let's do B. We'll do that in pink. So this whole side is 7, this part is 4. So what's B going to be? Say your answer to the video. You should have said that B will be 3, because 3 plus 4 makes 7. We're now going to split it into two separate rectangles. There's two ways to do that. You could put a line here, or you could put a line here. I'm going to put the line there, and I'm going to have two separate rectangles. I'm going to have this green one, and I'm going to have this red one. Let's start with the green one. Work out the area of that rectangle. Say your answer to the video. The area of that rectangle is 8 times 3, which is 24 centimeters squared. Work out the area of the red rectangle now. Say your answer to the video. The area of the red rectangle is 4 times 4, which is 16. What's the final step? Say your answer to the video. The final step is to add those two together, 24 plus 16, which makes 40 centimeters squared. Let's do one more example together. Pause the video, have a go, press play once you're ready. So what's going to be the first thing we need to do here? You should have had a go already, but what's going to be the first thing we need to do? Say your answer to the video. Well, the first thing we need to do is work out what A, B, and C are. So let's start by working out what A is. So to work out A, I'm going to think A is this full height here. And that's going to be made up of this, this, and this. So looking at my diagram, what's A? Say your answer to the video now. Well, A must be 4 plus 11 plus 4. So A is 11 plus 4 plus 4, which is 19. So A is 19. Let's do the same method to find what B and C are. So this is B, this is C. We're told that this is 2 and this is 3. So what are both B and C equal to? Say your answer to the video now. Both B and C are equal to 5, 3 plus 2. Now we have all the lengths that we need. What should we do next? Say your answer to the video. The next thing we need to do is split the shape into, in this case, 3 different rectangles. Now there's a few different ways to do that. The way I'm going to do it is like this. So I'm going to have a rectangle at the top, which I'm going to color in green. I'm going to have a rectangle on the bottom, which I'm also going to color in green. And I'm going to have a rectangle in the middle, which I'm going to color in red. And I'm going to work out the area of each of those rectangles individually. So what's the area of this green rectangle here? Work it out and say your answer to the video. The area of this rectangle will be its length times its width, 5 times 4, 20 centimeters squared. The one on the bottom will be exactly the same, 20 centimeters squared, because it's also 5 times 4. What about the one in the middle, the red one? Work out its area, pause the video to do that, press play once you're ready. You should have now worked out the area of the red rectangle, and hopefully you'll see, if you've done it right, that this is 11 and this is 3. So we've got 11 times 3, which is 33. What's the final step going to be? Say your answer to the video now. The final step is to add all the areas together. So we've got 20 plus 20 plus 33, which is 73 centimeters squared. So what we did is we firstly found out the missing lengths, then we drew some lines to split the shape up into 3 rectangles. We then found the area of each of those rectangles and then added them all together to find the area of the compound shape. If you struggled with any of these examples, please go back in the video, watch them again, try the questions again, and then move on to the independent practice. So here's the independent practice. There are 8 questions. We're going to do them 2 by 2. Pause the video, do these 2 questions, press play once you're ready. You should have now done these 2 questions. Now pause the video to do these 2 questions. Press play once you're ready. You should have now done these 2 questions. Pause the video to do these 2 questions. Press play once you're ready. You should have now done these 2 questions. Finally, pause the video to do these 2 questions. Press play once you're ready. You should have now done these 2 questions. Here are the answers to the 8 questions. Please mark your work, pause the video to do that, press play once you're ready. If you got 6, 7, or 8 of these questions correct, well done. You can finish the video here. Please like and subscribe to get more videos on Key Stage 3 Maths. But if you got only 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 correct, so that means you got 3 or more wrong, carry on watching the video to see how I go through each question. So I'm now going to review each question very quickly so you have a full working out for each one so you know where you've gone wrong. So let's start by going back to question 1. So for question 1, I need to work out the area of the 2 separate shapes. So I have the yellow triangle here and I have the pink triangle here. So to find the area of the yellow triangle, I do base times height over 2, which will be 8 times 6 over 2, which is 48 over 2, which is 24 centimeters squared. For the pink triangle, I do base times height over 2. The base is 8, so 8 times 7.3 over 2. 8 times 7.3, so all of these questions you shouldn't be using a calculator, but when you use Gelosia or another method, but preferably Gelosia, you should get 58.4 over 2. And when you use the bus stop method to do that, you should get 29.2 centimeters squared. Let's have a look at question 2 now. So for question 2, the first thing to do is to split it into 2 separate rectangles. We now have this pink rectangle here, and we have this yellow rectangle here. I'm going to work out the area of each rectangle individually. So the area of this rectangle will be 47 times 120. I'll work that out soon. And the area of this rectangle is going to be 33 times 56. Now, you should be using Gelosia to work these out, not a calculator. If you use Gelosia, you should get 5,640 centimeters squared for this one. And for the other one, you should get 1,848 centimeters squared. You should then add those together by lining them up, one on top of the other. 0 plus 8 is 8, 4 plus 4 is 8, 6 plus 8 is 14, 5 plus 1 plus 1 is 7, and there's your answer, 7,488 centimeters squared. Question 3, the first step is to split it into a rectangle and a triangle. I'm going to do my rectangle in yellow and my triangle in pink. So let's start with the rectangle. So if we think about this rectangle, it's a 3 by 4. So the area is 3 times 4, which is 12 centimeters squared. The triangle, well, the base is going to be 9 minus 4. So that is going to be 9 minus 4, which is 5. The height is going to be the same. It's going to be the 3, which is this, plus the 1, which makes 4. So the height is 4. 5 times 4 over 2, 20 over 2, which is 10 centimeters squared. I'm just going to draw that triangle to make that really, really clear. So the base of that triangle was 5 because it was 9 minus 4. The height of the triangle was 3 plus 1, which was 4. I add those together, 22 centimeters squared. The next one was actually made of 3 shapes. There was this triangle at the top, there was this rectangle and this triangle. So I'm going to shade the 2 triangles in pink. They're different triangles, but I'm shading them in the same color, and the rectangle in yellow. So let's start with this triangle here. So its base is 5, its height is 7, base times height over 2, 35 over 2, 17.5 centimeters squared. This rectangle at the top, So its base is 4 because you have the number 4 below, so that is 4. The height you have to work out, so the full height of the whole thing is 10, and the height of this part here is 7, so 10 minus 7 leaves you with 3. So we've got base 4 times height 3 over 2, that's 12 over 2, which is 6. Just put a line here so we don't get confused between the two questions. And the area of the rectangle in the middle, that's just 4 times 7, which is 28. You can then add those three numbers together. We do that very carefully. So we line them up. So 17.5, 28.0, 6.0. Add them together. 5 decimal point 21.5, 51.5 centimeters squared. 4 more to go. So first things to do is find these missing lengths. So we'll start by working out A. So to work out A, I think about this is 10 and this is 3. So that means A must be 7. Then I'm going to work out what B is. So this is 4, this is 6. So that means B must be 2. Now I can split it into two rectangles, work out the area of each one. So this rectangle is 4 times 10. Is 40. This rectangle is 2 times 3, which is 6. Add them together, makes 46 centimeters squared. This one down here, we firstly work out A. So let's do that in yellow. So A, that's 4, that's 4. So that means A must be 8. Let's now work out B. So this is B, this is 8, this is 10. So that means B must be 2. Now we split it up into two separate rectangles. Let's work out the area of this rectangle. It's just 4 times 8, which is 32. And let's work out the area of this rectangle. It's 8 times 2, which is 16. Add them together, we get a total of 48 centimeters squared. So the compound shape has an area of 48 centimeters squared. 2 left. So we first need to work out the missing lengths, and then we need to split it up. So let's work out the missing lengths first. So let's use yellow to do that. So this is 6 and this is 4, which means B must be 10. And then horizontally, we have that the whole horizontal is 20. This part's 5, this part's 10, which means A must be the other 5 to make 20. I can now split it into 3 shapes. So I'm going to do this one, and this one. So let's work out each one individually. So this one is 5 by 10. This one in the middle is a 10 by 4. And this one over here is also a 10 by 5. So the area of this one, 5 times 10 is 50. This one is 10 times 4, which is 40. This one is 10 times 5, which is 50. Add them all together, we get 140 centimeters squared. And finally, the last one. So we firstly find out the missing lengths. So let's look at the A first. So if this is 6 and this is 2, that means A must be the leftover 4. Let's work out B. So let's do that in pink. So to work out B, B is this, which must be the sum of this and this. So B must be 4 plus 2, which is 6. We'll then split it into 3 separate rectangles. So I'm going to do it this way. So we've got this rectangle here. We'll then have this one over here. And then we've got this last one over here. So we've got this one, we've got this one, and we've got this one. So I've just broken it up into little pieces. So this one is 4 by 4. It's actually a square. You can't tell from the diagram, but it is. This one is 11 by 2. And this one is 4 by 6. So the area of this one, let's just draw a line so we don't get confused between the questions. The area of this one is 4 times 4, which is 16, A for area. The area of this one is 11 times 2, which is 22. The area of this one, 4 times 6, which is 24. Add them together, 16 plus 22 plus 24 gives us 62 centimeters squared. Just going to double check that those are the right answers. Yes, they are. So we've now learned how to find the area of compound shapes. The general approach is to find any missing lengths, split the shape up into individual rectangles and triangles, Find the area of each individual rectangle and triangle, and then add all the areas together. I hope this video was useful. Please like and subscribe to get more videos on Key Stage 3 Maths.